Hey, Gina here with Tarot in Time. I'm here with the August month ahead video. Big month, lots to go over, lots of retrogrades, nothing to be afraid of. Everybody's so afraid of retrogrades. So let's talk about the positive aspects of retrogrades, because we're going to need to find the positive aspect, because by the end of the month, we are going to have 6 out of 8 planets retrograding. So let's talk about what that means. So the opening video will be that discussion. It will be an overview of the month in general. The weeks will be timestamped below, so feel free to jump ahead. If you don't want to listen to the whole thing, you can jump to the week of your choice. I will repost this into smaller segments later so that you can absorb it little by little. I know it's a lot of information, so feel free to skip around. The final part of the video will be a pick a pile tarot reading, okay? So you can jump ahead to that also if you'd like. But I encourage you to listen because there's a lot going on and a lot you probably want to know this month. So the big theme of the month is Venus retrograde. So we've started this just recently, about the 22nd of July. We know that Venus rules anything of value. It rules both the signs Taurus and the sign Libra in the zodiac. So a lot of times, and I find too, when I describe Venus, I often just describe like the Taurus aspect of things, that it rules anything of value, right? It has to do with your finances. It has to do with money, but it also has to do with all the things that are really important to you. It has to do with beauty and jewelry and all those wonderful things. But also Venus rules the sign Libra, which is partnerships and contracts and territory and agreements and marriages and divorces and all those kind of things. So there's a lot more to Venus, I feel, than I have described in a lot of my videos. And interesting how Venus is also tied into a lot of wars, a lot of arguments. You know, wasn't that long ago that women were considered property. And so there is a lot of those kind of implications that go along with Venus also, okay? So Venus retrograde, again, we're not going to be scared of this. We're going to look at this as showing us the other side of the things that we don't normally get to see. You know, I just noticed that without even like really clicking that, okay, Venus retrograde, how's that going to affect me? I noticed that all of a sudden I was researching credit cards and trying to figure out some things that I never have time to do. And so all of a sudden in this time of Venus retrograde, I was able to see things from a different perspective. So that's what I'm encouraging you to look at. What's still of value to you? What works for you? How have you changed? Because remember, this Venus retrograde is happening in the sign of Leo, the beautiful heart-based, heart chakra energy, playful, childlike, loving, so big and bright, okay? And so we want to be looking at ourselves. What brings us true joy? What doesn't work anymore? What have we outgrown? Those are all going to be themes right now. And I'm not telling you to go and take action and cause yourself trouble. I'm saying to sit back and observe and watch the themes that are coming up right now. Not only with Venus, but we have a lot of planets retrograding. So there's going to be a lot of different ways of seeing things. And so I can't tell you exactly how that's going to break down for you, but you need to observe and watch what is being shown. What's the backside of things that you don't usually get to see, right? And Leo is such a big, bright sign ruled by the sun. And so whatever has a big front also is going to have a large shadow side, right? So we're going to see those things during retrograde. We need to see those things. We don't want to hide from that. We don't want to hide from the truth. So let's look at the truth of ourselves, okay? So there's a lot of Uranus activity this month. That was one thing when I was doing my preparation, I kept noticing, okay, Uranus, lots of squares with Uranus. Venus is actually going to be square Uranus through the month until the 18th. Squares, right? And I love how when I was learning about squares with Sheila Haidt, she talked about squares as, yeah, you can see them as like a brick wall that you're hitting, or if it's hits just right, it can be like zesting, right? So we'll get the best out of it, trimming away what doesn't need to be there for us anymore. So we start off the month with a full Aquarius moon. Why Aquarius? Because Aquarius is directly across from Leo in the zodiac. They're considered like opposites and considered actually a really good match to each other. So we start off with this beautiful Aquarius moon. And if you know Aquarius, they live how they want to live. They live differently. They live, I think, a lot of Aquarius that I know live really great, enthusiastic lives. It sometimes takes Aquarius a little while to be able to stand up and just show who they are and not be ashamed of who they are, because a lot of times they're different. They show up differently because Aquarius rules new things, new thoughts, bringing in the new, leading it in. So we want to be really honoring that part of ourselves, especially when we come up to this Aquarius full moon. I have my printouts that I post each week that you'll see on social media, and I will post YouTube videos every week with these printouts. But the Aquarius full moon, I wrote on it, love the little weirdo that you are, because we're all weird in our own unique ways. And to really embrace that is really getting the essence out of an Aquarius full moon. So with Venus squaring Uranus, I thought that was interesting that that's a big theme this month, the square. And then Venus is in retrograde, right? So we're going to get to see things crack open and see what's really going on. You know, Uranus rules the Tower card in tarot, and it rules the Star card. So I feel like this month is like that Tower energy. I actually picked the Tower card for our pick-a-pile reading. So because we need that divine intervention. We need that new information, this new way of seeing things to expand our lives. Uranus also rules large groups of people and friend groups, new ways of thinking, the new. So let's allow that energy to help crack us open and let us shine the star that we truly are this month. There's no more settling for less. This is a huge opportunity to see the other side of things, to see our life from a different perspective. It's a gift. Take it. You deserve it. Pluto is also leaving the sign of Capricorn. It's going to enter Aquarius, I think, by January. So this is its final cleanup time because it was in Aquarius and then it bounced back, retrograded back into Capricorn. So let the old stories fall away. Ideally onto a piece of paper, get it written out. The old rules are changing. The earth needs our consideration and our love. Our bodies no longer want to be overlooked. Our hearts are screaming for truth. And the scream is meant for ourselves to hear, to acknowledge, to change. Stop putting our own self-work onto others and making it other people's responsibility. We're not going to get anywhere positive. It's our responsibility. Step up. This is a month to step up, to shine bright, to shine from the heart, and it will feel better than you ever imagined, okay? So when we get towards the end of the month, we're going to go into another full moon. We have 2 full moons this month. It's called a blue moon when we have that happen, and it's going to be in the sign of Pisces. And so we can actually, Pisces is right across from Virgo because the sun will be in Virgo by the end of the month. And so we can take all these wild dreams and Pisces energy, this creative, dreamy, imaginative energy, and we can put it with Virgo that wants to actually make things a reality. So we can actually do this. The full moon is going to be at the 7 degrees of Pisces. And it's interesting to me that in numerology, 2023 is a 7 year. It's the year of the chariot. It's ruled by the moon. It's pulling us forward, helping us overcome obstacles to move forward. So I find this full moon very, very powerful, the second one of the month. The first one in Aquarius is actually going to be a full super moon. I guess the way it's positioned is a little closer to us, so it appears larger. So big month of full moons. Okay, so by the end of the month, we will have 6 out of 8 planets in retrograde. The only ones that will not be retrograde is Jupiter and Mars. But as soon as Venus goes direct on September 3rd, Jupiter goes retrograde on September 4th. So we are just going to continue with this 6 out of 8 retrograde planets. So again, what does that mean for us? A great time of observation, a great time to see the things that we don't normally see, the great time to receive information that we may not normally be available to us, okay? Because we're going to go into a Mercury retrograde also this month. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Take notes, pay attention. Don't see it as a positive thing. See it as a helpful friend. And remember, Aquarius rules friends. And so allow these new, healthy, helpful people into your life, even if they're strangers, right? Even if a stranger helps us in some way, let's accept that help and be open to it, okay? And open to change. All right, so I'm gonna go through and break this video down week by week, okay? So we're gonna start off the week. We start off the week with July 31st. And July 31st, we have the moon in the sign, well, it'll be in Capricorn most of the day. And it's going to be also conjunct Pluto. So Pluto, the planet of change. Pluto's in the sign of Capricorn. So the moon's going to be there right next to it. And so there's kind of a gentleness, a gentle power when the moon's there, an intuitive power. And Pluto's there and wants to bring us change. So let's pay attention to the feelings that are coming up, especially on Monday the 31st. There may be needed change in the workplace. Capricorn is very workplace orientated. And so that information may reveal itself to you. So start making plans. This is a good month to make plans. You can plan a trip, you can plan work changes, you can plan home changes, but it's not like the best month to move forward with it all because again, I don't personally like to make major purchases during a Venus retrograde, and I certainly don't during a Mercury retrograde because Mercury rules all documents and deliveries and all that, and things can get a little wonky. So hold up on that, but planning, great time for planning, okay? So we move into, this is a full moon week, 7/31. So Tuesday, 8/1 is Aquarius full super moon at 2:32 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Shed old skin as you move into the new. Release old stories, and like I said earlier, love the little weirdo that you are, okay? There's a lot of energy with this 9 degrees Aquarius fixed full supermoon. And Saturn is going to be, Saturn in Pisces is going to be opposite Mercury in Virgo. So what a great time to write. What a great time to get your stories out. And I want you to think about how you're speaking to yourself also, okay? We got some Virgo energy going on. We want to make sure that we're not being too harsh on ourselves, okay? Now, Tuesday is considered the pagan holiday of Lammas, which I'm still learning a lot about, but it is a celebration of like the first harvest, and some of it's associated with grain harvest. And so there's a lot there about being grateful that we have a harvest, because I know with the flooding, a lot of people are not having a harvest. So let's be grateful for that. Let's celebrate. And a lot of times in the research that I did about Lammas, they would use a lot of like the herbs from their garden. They would do protection ceremonies for their harvest, and the stones malachite and black obsidian were used. So you might want to consider keeping some of that close. I think it's interesting that it's called a corn moon. That's one of the names. I think it might also be the sturgeon moon. There's a few different names. I think they're Native American based. And so it's interesting that Lammas is celebrating grain on the corn moon. Okay, so hey, maybe it's a good night to have something, a grain-based dish, something like that, or maybe something that you harvested from your garden. Okay, so Wednesday. So remember, it's going to be a full moon week. Basically, the full moon's going to affect us all week. Things are always a little wacky with the full moon week, especially with an Aquarius full moon week, because you've heard me talking about Aquarius, that it's predictably unpredictable. So you got to roll with the punches. You got to roll with how it goes, because you just never really know when you have Aquarius energy ruled by the planet Uranus involved. Okay. We've got Jupiter trining Mars. So you can Jupiter likes to make things big, and Mars likes to take action. So dive into something like, for instance, if your tomatoes are ripe, this would be a great time to just dive into canning, okay? You could dive into a movie or, binge watch something, but it would be more productive if you dived into canning. Okay, so then we move into Wednesday the 2nd. The message is to listen to the message that your heart is sending you, okay? The moon's gonna move into Pisces later on in the evening on the 2nd. And so on Thursday the 3rd, we're going to have the moon conjunct Saturn, because Saturn is currently in the sign of Pisces. So just envision your next move, right? Saturn wants to like be responsible, get things done. It has a lot to do with your career and your foundation in the world. And the moon is how you nurture yourself. And so envision your next move, but don't do it right now, just envision it. Be kind and gentle to yourself, because when the moon gets close to Saturn, sometimes we have a tendency to overwork, okay? Now, Friday the 4th, we want to pay a lot of attention to our surroundings. It's easy to get lost in the clouds because the moon's going to be in Pisces and it's going to be conjunct Neptune, the planet that rules Pisces, in the sign of Pisces. There's a heck of a lot of Pisces going on Friday the 4th. It can be dreamy, it can be super creative, it can be super lovely, but sometimes it can also be delusional and unclear, okay? So stay grounded as best as you can. We're moving into an Aries weekend. So let's see, Saturday, we've got, I think that's when the Venus square Uranus starts on Saturday. There's no air in the chart, so we want to make sure we get some fresh air, get out, get a walk in, okay? Keep things light. Just keep things light on Saturday. Sunday, we're going to see the moon moving in. It's also going to be in the sign of Aries, a little bit close to the I think it's an asteroid, Chiron, our soul's wound point. And so here we are outgrowing these old soul wounds. There's an opportunity here to almost see them and not react anymore, or choose joy, okay? So big full moon week there. Now we move into the next week, which is August 7th through August 13th. And, I have on my calendar, I really marked off the 7th through the 18th, because that is when Venus and the Sun are conjunct in the sign of Leo. So the Sun in the sign of Leo, which it rules, Venus right there next to it. It's so beautiful, and I just want to savor every single day during that period. There's so much room for joy, for love, for fun, for just optimizing summer, okay? So really great time. Summer's going to go by so quick. Use it. So Monday the 7th, we have some Pluto energy. We have the Taurus moon conjunct Jupiter, but it's also square Pluto. So it's a great time to think about home renovation plans, because Pluto loves to destroy things and break things down. Taurus loves all the beautiful things, so it'll be a great day to plan some home construction project, or start working on your plans, or start budgeting for things that you want to do. Enjoy a great meal, because Venus certainly loves that, okay? And, we can be shopping, but we just have to know that during Venus retrograde, we may end up back at the store a few times, because retrograde brings us back, right? All the redo, the word receipt. Any of those re words are associated with a retrograde. So review, renew, reevaluate, all that. Okay, so sometimes we'll find ourselves doing things 3 times during a retrograde. But that's okay. You can shop 3 times. So enjoy a great meal. Have dessert Monday the 7th, okay? So Tuesday the 8th, the moon will be conjunct Uranus. It'll be square Venus. We've got themes here. We've got a lot of themes. We've got themes of friends and groups and new ideas, and we've got themes of value and money and relationships. But it's a pretty intense day, okay? I'm just gonna be honest. You might wanna just lay low, do what you want. Might not be the greatest time to interact with others. Helpful strangers may open your eyes to things, so listen to the conversations you overhear, pay attention to just somebody helping you out just on the street, something simple, okay? But I wouldn't make that a day of big plans with others, okay? Wednesday the 9th, we have breakthrough moments. We've got a lot of Uranus energy. The moon is, Venus is square Uranus. The sun is square Uranus. We've got a lot going on. But Uranus is that lightning bolt of change and insight and just breakthroughs, okay? So be open to it. There's a lot of love in the air, but let's not get into it with others. Thursday the 10th, I wrote, keep it light and fun, be flexible and adaptable. The moon is going to be square Mercury and Mars. So we don't want to get into like deep conversations. We don't want to fight with people for our way. But there is an ability that there could still be some sexy energy on Thursday if we use it properly. Okay, so keep it light. Friday, the 11th, get some work done. We will have, let's see, why did I say get some work done? Well, the moon will be in Gemini most of the day. It's going to be square Mars and Neptune. But by night, it's going to be in the sign of Cancer, that comfy, lovely, warm, compassionate sign of Cancer. So get some work done during the day and have a really nice, cozy evening on the 11th, okay? Now, we're going to move into a Cancer weekend for the weekend of the 12th and 13th. There's no air in the chart on Saturday, so there's not a lot of activity in any air signs like Gemini, Libra, or what's the one I'm forgetting? Aquarius. So get outside, go swimming. Moon's in Cancer. It's a beautiful time for water activities, okay? Make sure you get some fresh air. This is the heart of summer, I wrote on our sheet here. This is it. Let's savor it here in New England. It goes by so quick. Okay, so Sunday, love is the answer. The moon's going to be opposite Pluto, okay? So the moon opposite the planet of transformation and change, that rules deep emotion, that rules sexual energy. And so the moon wants us to take care of us. Pluto wants to transform any behavior that may not be according to that, according to love. Okay, so stop undermining yourself, please. Always, but especially on Sunday the 13th. Now we move into the week of 8/14 through 8/20. And we have, it continues, I have my continuation of highlighted days because of Venus being conjunct the sun, together with the sun. Okay, it feels very joyful to me. I'm excited. I'm going to try to savor every single day that Venus is conjunct the sun. And so that's going to run through the 18th of this week, okay? So Monday the 14th, the moon will still, it'll be in Cancer. It'll move into Leo by the crack of dawn. So dream big, swim in the possibilities of your greatness, open your heart. Listen to what your heart's saying. We're so busy listening to what our mind's saying. What's our heart saying? Tuesday the 15th, Leo moon. Love shows up in the most interesting of ways. We're moving into the new moon in Leo. How wonderful is that? The sun and the moon will be together in the same sign, okay? And they're going to be together with Venus. This is a great day to resolve relationships if they are good for your soul, okay? Please don't go resolving relationships that you know damn well aren't good enough for you, okay? Because that was the main theme of this month, was that that's enough of that. That ends now. We need to step up. We want to live better lives. We want to help this planet. We want to live from the heart. Then we need to stop settling, okay? And this is the day, 8/16. If you have something to resolve with someone, or maybe you need to resolve something with yourself, it's available, it's ready, but make sure you choose wisely, okay? So the 17th, let's see, we have the new moon. What else? The moon's going to move into Virgo. The 17th, we'll have the moon in Virgo, opposite Saturn in Pisces. Another chance to make dreams reality, to really take all those like big ideas and start looking at what the practical plan is to get this done. Okay. So what's the next step to make your dreams a reality on the 17th? On the 18th, I put a star on the 18th. I wrote fabulously creative day. The moon is going to be conjunct Mercury and Mars. It's going to be in the sign of Virgo. So Virgo is ruled by Mercury. They're going to be together. And then Mars is there that likes to take action. So it's a good day to write. It's a good day to get things out. It's a really super expressive day. Okay. Friday the 18th. We move into Saturday and Sunday. We have a Libra weekend. We have a grand Earth trine going on Saturday. So it's like a lot of planets and grounded Earth signs, okay? Mars, Pluto, and Uranus. Mars, the planet of action, Pluto, the planet of transformation, and Uranus, the planet of wow, anything can happen, okay? So there's a lot of great action energy. Pay attention. The moon will be in the sign of Libra, another sign that's ruled by Venus. Venus is in retrograde. It keeps just bouncing back around, I think, to Venus and Uranus. Just be aware. I wrote, actually, it's a great day for construction, demolition, and deep cleaning. And that's because Mars wants to take the action to do it. Pluto wants to change everything, and Uranus is a helpful friend. Okay. Sunday, the moon will be in Libra, and enjoy. One of the last, possibly, especially if you're a parent with kids going back to school, possibly one of the last summer Sundays of the season, okay? So we're moving into the week of 8/21 through 8/27. And on 8/21, we have the moon moving into, well, it's still in the sign of Libra. It'll move into Scorpio by evening, okay? I wrote down, because of some of the South Node presence in the chart, South Node being that cup that holds everything that ever happened to you, people from the past may resurface. And, you know, RE words are a theme in a retrograde. So resurface, you know, reappear, renew, all those kind of words. So people from the past may resurface. Please show the universe what you've learned. Let's not go backwards. We know we had talked about renegotiating energy for relationships available last week, but please show the universe. Don't take a step backwards, okay? 8/22, the moon will move into Scorpio. There was a lot of squares going on with Venus on Tuesday, the 22nd. And since the moon is in Scorpio, Scorpio really knows how to do its own thing, and it knows how to take alone time. So Tuesday is a great day to do that, to just do your thing and maybe keep it solo if you can, because it's just a lot of energy, okay? And if you can't be alone, just watch your words. So Wednesday the 23rd, the sun's going to move into Virgo. So Virgo's an earth sign, right? That's ruled by Mercury. And it's interesting that the sun's going to move into Virgo in the early morning on the 23rd. And then Mercury is going to begin its retrograde by 4 o'clock. So we're going to have this little window of time where the sun is going to be in the sign of Virgo, but then we're going to see Mercury moving backwards. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting Virgo season with Mercury in retrograde. Mercury retrograde is going to go until September 13th. Right now, by the 23rd of August, we'll have 5 planets in retrograde: Venus, Mercury, Pluto, Neptune, and Saturn. Okay, wow. So pay attention, see what's coming up, see what you need to know, what you need to see, look at things from a different perspective. So Thursday, the 24th, we have a lot of earth energy. We have a grand earth trine. We have the moon moving into the sign of Sagittarius in the early morning. So breathe, stay present, observe, all that continued advice. Friday the 25th, we'll have a Sagittarius moon. The moon's going to be square Mercury, so we're going to want to watch our words, but it's going to be trine Venus, so go have fun. Friday is a day to play. Friday is a day for no serious conversation, okay? We're going to move into a Capricorn weekend by 9:05 a.m. on Saturday. So take care of any family responsibilities on Saturday or any things that need to get done, okay? Because the moon's going to be square Mars and Neptune, and Capricorn likes to take care of things. But by Saturday, it gets a little bit more social because we have a lot of trines, positive trine aspects. And Mars is going to move into the really social sign of Libra, okay? So the 27th is a great day to be social. Now, we move into our final week of the month, and it starts off with August 28th. August 28th, Uranus retrograde is going to start on August 28th. And so now we're up to 6 planets in retrograde. Is that right? Did I say 6 already? I think we're up to 6 planets in retrograde. Okay. And it's going to be a little bit extra wacky on Monday because the moon's going to move into the sign of Aquarius in the morning. And then by evening, Uranus, the planet that rules Aquarius, goes retrograde. So it's like, we're going to see the whole spectrum of of Aquarius, okay? So your true friends are being shown to you on Monday the 28th as the Uranus retrograde begins. Tuesday the 29th, your loyalty needs to be to yourself as we move into this Pisces full moon on the 30th, okay? At 7 degrees, I was talking about how I find that, I like that. I like that the full Pisces blue moon, the second full moon of the month, is in 7 degrees of Pisces, 7 being the number of the year in numerology for 2023, because when you add up 2023, it equals the number 7, okay? So our theme card for the year is the Chariot, ruled by the moon, pulling us forward. And so we've got all this watery energy during this beautiful blue moon. And so, you know, Pisces is across from Virgo. So we've got the sun in Virgo, the moon in Pisces. Virgo is very practical, grounded, wants to get things done, organized, sorted, analyzed. And Pisces wants to do exact opposite of that, okay? It wants to dream and create. So we've got this energy, both sides of it, and we can make your dreams a reality, okay? Your feeling body has a lot to say. Listen to it. Pisces works through the watery realm of the body, the fluid body. Listen. It's also a good day to make amends, okay? Now, on Thursday the 31st, the moon in Pisces is going to be conjunct Neptune and Saturn. So, creativity runs high, delusion runs high. We're coming down off this full moon. We've got the moon, if it didn't already have enough Pisces, now it's conjunct Neptune and Pisces. So foggy, but Saturn's there too to help keep us a little bit more in line, okay? For that was for Thursday. Yes. Okay. So Friday the 1st, I wrote down clean, create, and enjoy. We got the moon moving into Aries. It's going to be conjunct Neptune. So there's still that creativity aspect, but Aries likes to get things done. Okay. Enjoy it. Saturday the 2nd, the moon will be in Aries. I wrote down have fun and play like a kid. Aries is the kid of the zodiac. Okay. Enjoy it. Sunday, the moon will move into Taurus by 11 a.m. Taurus is ruled by Venus, and Venus, thank goodness, will be going direct by 9:20 p.m. in the evening, okay? So I wrote down, it's a good day to donate something in your closet, okay? Go donate something, and then if you want to, by evening, you can start shopping again if you want to. Although we will be in that shadow period, but I get excited to start shopping again when Venus comes out of retrograde. Now, let me clear that up too. I'm a store owner, so I have to shop during Venus retrograde, okay? But I'm extra careful to make sure about the return policy. I'm extra careful to make sure that they're products I'm familiar with. Not necessarily going to take risk on new products because Venus rules shopping, right? So life doesn't have to stop. It's just you want to be a little bit more aware of which way the energy is flowing smoothly and where you might have to pay more attention, okay? So Venus direct, but then Jupiter is going to begin its retrograde tomorrow, which is September 4th. So we're still back to having 6 out of 8 planets in retrograde. All right, well, it's an interesting month. I'm excited to see the new discoveries that I make, the new way I can look at some things, because honestly, you get tired of looking at things the same way. And so being open and ready for some change and for some new perspective. All right, so let's talk about our Pick a Pile Tarot reading. And so what I did for the reading was I picked a tower card for each pile because the tower is ruled by the planet Uranus. We see so much Uranus energy this month. We have the full moon in Aquarius ruled by the planet Uranus. And so Uranus is that lightning bolt of divine change, divine intervention, clearing the way for us, helping us remove obstacles that maybe we wouldn't personally choose to remove, but that need to be, okay? So for pile number 1 from the beautiful Herb Crafters Tarot, I have this lovely tower card. You can see that okay. And in this deck, this is the mushroom. right? And it breaks things down. So here is pile number 1. I also picked out a star card for each pile. I chose out of a few star cards, so I don't know which pile got which star card, but we're gonna look at the star card too, because the star card comes in after the Tower. It's also Uranus energy. It's a card of hope and healing. And so we're gonna see what was cleared and what was made room for, okay? So for pile number 2 from the Mystical Moments deck, we have this amazing Tower card. And in pile number 3 from the Everyday Witch, one of my favorites, is this really cool Tower card, okay? So go ahead, pick your pile, whichever pile jumped out to you first is the right one, and let's get started. Okay, I'm here with pile number 1. Here's your mushroom card. Beautiful, beautiful breakdown, decomposing this fallen piece of birch, okay? So let's see what your star card is and what is being cleared out for you so that you can shine, and here you are shining. This is a really cool card from the Rosebud Tarot, which is one of my new favorites. And she is just adorned in this most beautiful headdress, and she's shining brightly. She's in a position of power, okay? So there is no more breaking down this old way of being and shining brighter, okay? All right, so let's start off here. I have not looked at any of these cards. I'm working with a few different decks. I would like to know, my question in this reading is, what is important for pile number 1 to know during the month of August, okay? So we're starting off, let's see here, with the Magician. All right, not a bad way to start off. This is Ciro Marchetti's deck. I forget which deck this is of his. He has so many. But here's the Magician. And the Magician, being the first teacher of the tarot deck, the first teacher that the Fool meets, teaches him everything and anything is possible. Wow. Ruled by, this card is considered to be a Scorpio card, ruled by the planet Pluto, planet of change. And then this is also co-ruled by the planet Mars, planet of action, okay? So not a bad card to start off with. Let's see what's going on in the heart of the matter. We have the 3 of Cups. And here, you know, 3 of Cups is usually a party card. And they're kind of falling back into the water. This is the heart of the matter. And I'm kind of getting that, you know, maybe that scene of what's satisfying to you is changing. See what's supporting the heart of the matter. This is an interesting card. Okay, this is from the Osho, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, Osho Zen Tarot. This is kind of an interesting deck. It doesn't really function as a regular tarot deck. I almost use it more as an oracle, but I use my pendulum to pick the decks, and this deck really wanted to be part of this reading. It wanted to be used as a tarot deck too. This is the schizophrenia card, and I'm not trying to say that you have schizophrenia, okay? This is just the card of trying to hold on to the old stuff when really you just need to make the leap of faith to move forward. Okay, this is card number 2 in this deck. And what's crazy about this card is trying to hold on to the old, okay? Interesting that, like, she's kind of, if you can see her there, kind of holding on to both sides of it, but she's going to have to let go of one. And I hope she lets go of the past. Interesting that this is kind of like falling also. Your foundation card of the reading is the Ace of Wands, which is something new and something beautiful. And this is the ethereal tarot. What is this called? It's somewhere around here. Okay, it's the Ethereal Visions. And I love that it's golden, and I love that she's holding this wand. There's something new here. It's coming in on your foundation. So there's like a new offering, yet you're like trying to hold on to the past so much. And this Magician's here to say, you've got this. It's kind of like what I said in the beginning of this video. I said that step up. It will feel better than you could have ever imagined. And that's what I'm getting. There's a clinging to the old, but the universe is telling you to step up. Behind the scenes, We have the transformation card, also from that Osho deck. Okay, so there's transformation going on in the background. That's very much Pluto energy. We have the 9 of Cups here, which is like this genie. What's your wish? What is it that you want? Are you clear what you want? It's almost like you've been distracted with this party scene, this old way of being. And they're saying, what is it that really makes you happy? Do you know? You know, when people come into our store to try on clothes, because we sell a lot of clothes now, and, you know, they'll look at stuff and they'll be like, oh, I really like it. Oh, you know, think about if you can afford it, da, da, da. But it's like, try it on, because you might not even like it. And so this is kind of like, get clear. Like, is that really what you want? Are you sure that that's what you want? Because you can ask for whatever it is you want. You got a genie and you got a magician. Okay. So you've got some luck here. You're just trying to hold on to the past a little too firmly, and you're ready for the leap of faith. Here's the Hanged Man, but he came up reversed because he would traditionally be this way. And he was this way. And he's pulling the strings on this. Okay, so this is coming up in the future position. It's almost like the delay is over now. You're in control here. And the Knight of Cups. It's interesting that this Knight of Cups, it's like almost like it's an empty armor. And we've got, it's very Pisces energy. We've got the Pisces full moon coming up at the end of the month. So it's almost like I'm getting that there's a change in who you are. You're going through a big change right now. You're starting to find that these things that you are holding on to so tightly aren't really lining up with you anymore. Those things are ready to break down and move forward. And you've got an opportunity here to ask for what you want. So you might want to get clear on what you want. And if you don't know what you want, you can really get clear on what you don't want. Okay, there's new offerings. This is being offered to you, this Ace of Wands. You've got a genie and a magician. You've got a card of transformation and change. And there's a message here that the wait is over, that you're in control now and you can make your move. You want to pay attention deeply to your feelings and what it is that you actually want to pursue. And start becoming the person that you want to become, not just like, I get a heavy influence by your friends here. Okay, I'm going to pull a couple more. See if I missed anything. Anything else this month of August for pile number 1? Anything else they need to know? You've got the 10 of Cups, and it did come up reversed, okay? Like I said, I don't always read reversals, but sometimes it jumps out to me. And didn't I just say your friends are really influencing you? Here it is, but it came up like this, okay? So there's a change here because this is a 10. It's rolling into a new stage. And I really think that it's time for you to really be looking at, actually, what I'm really getting is I'm getting a lot of like alcohol vibes, party vibes, and it's almost like you're outgrowing it. There's something changing. You're ready to make the change. You've seen too many people kind of be destroyed by this lifestyle and you're ready to move forward. That's what I'm getting. If it's not alcohol, it could just be deep, like emotions that you might not have wanted to deal with. Maybe you're numbing yourself out in some way. You're ready for that to change. Okay, and how can that change? So 2 of Swords and the Lovers. Okay, so she's stepping up. She's showing up, one foot in front of the other and making choices for her best interest. She's heavily protected. Okay, and her companions don't have to be humans. Here's the Lovers. Making a commitment to yourself about your choices is what I get. Not letting your life dictate the rules, I guess, so much for you. Three of Swords reversed. This is an interesting 3 of Swords. Came up this way. So it's almost like all those old pains, now they're like the beacon of light here. You're healing. You're ready for this, to let go of this. You're ready to not have your relationships based on old pain and old ways of being. You're ready to learn from it and move on. That's what I got. Okay, I hope you related to that. I'm going to pick an oracle card for you from this Mystic Sisters. I went through so many oracle decks trying to pick which one wanted to be part of this reading. My pendulum finally said this was the one after saying no to so many. So let's see what your oracle card is here. You have Lilith. And, you know, she is a point in the chart. I believe she's an asteroid, but I've been starting to learn a little bit more about Lilith. She's considered your rightful rage. She's considered to be Adam's first wife before Eve. She didn't like the role that she was given, to be inferior, to have to play this role that she didn't want to do. And she wanted no part of it. She actually went to live in the desert by herself rather than be in a relationship that was not equal. Lilith, self-actualization and power. The goddess Lilith represents determined feminine self-empowerment. According to myth, Lilith was the first female created in the Garden of Eden, and when the creator discovered her to be dominant over her male counterpart, he was displeased and cast her out of Eden. Lilith returned in the form of the serpent who tempted Eve to eat fruit from the tree of knowledge. Drawing this card is symbolic of the need to exercise personal power. There is no sin in embracing your own nature. This is not to say that there will not be pushback or consequences, but you are still called to be what you will be. Interesting. So I'm just kind of getting this idea that there's no more fitting in here. I'm sorry, there's not. You're above what you've been trying to fit in with. There's so much more available for you that will make you happier than you could have ever imagined. So let's roll some dice. We are looking for some information for the month. Let's see, I'm going to just use these dice here. Let's use these dice to see. We're looking for power days, power signs for the month for you. Okay, and we've got the sign Aquarius. We've got the North Node in the 6th house. Okay. So the North Node, excuse me, is about your Dharma, what you came here to do. The North Node actually is just switching signs into Libra and Aries, okay? So they change, I think they change signs like every 18 months. So it's kind of interesting that they're changing signs now. You're coming up with the North Node. Your Dharma work, what you came here to do. In the sign of Aquarius that wants to break free, there's a full Aquarius moon this month. So you're going to want to pay very close attention to that full Aquarius moon. And any days that the moon are in Aquarius for you this month, okay? You can refer to a moon calendar to look at that. Or, you know, there's lots of apps that'll tell you what day the moon's in Aquarius. But we know we have the full moon in Aquarius on the 1st. And so the moon will be in Aquarius around the 1st, the 2nd. Let me just sneak ahead here and I'll tell you. The evening, yeah, the 1st, and the 2nd until evening on the 2nd. And then it will go into Aquarius again on the evening of the 28th of August, the 29th into the 30th morning. Okay, so those are going to be power days for you. You got the 6th house, which is Virgo's house. We know the sun's going to be moving into Virgo. So what this is telling me is it's time to get really clear on what your mission is here in your life. You want to look at where your North Node is located in your astrology chart, so you're really clear about what your mission involves, okay? If you want to comment below with your birth date and time and place, I can let you know where your North Node is. In the sign of Aquarius is what we've rolled. So it wants you to break free of the old things that are holding you back, to think differently, to have humanitarian thoughts for the world, to be helpful, to be a helpful friend to the planet, and to show up. 6th house, routines, habits, health. Okay. So you really want to get your calendar, your schedule set up for this Virgo season, and so that you can fit in all the things that you want to do. It's time for you to start showing up differently with new habits, new way of nurturing yourself, but also like Lilith energy, breaking free, saying no to the roles that don't work for you and showing up in the roles that do work for you. Okay? Thank you so much for joining me. Pile number 2, this amazing Tower card from the Mystical Moments Tarot deck. Love how she's holding on to it, and she's got angel wings holding on to what was, but we know that we can't stop change. Okay, and then I picked a star card for you. Haven't looked at it yet. So this change is clearing out so that you can shine brighter. And here is the star card from the Light Seers Tarot. I love how she's connected. She's connected to her higher power there. And so there's a strong connection that is available for you through these changes. Okay, so haven't looked at any of these cards yet, working with a bunch of decks. The question is what you need to know during this month of August. What is important for pile number 2 to know? We're starting off here. Our first card is the 4 of Cups. This is from one of Ciro Marchetti's decks. Can't remember the name of it. He has so many decks, but here we are. 4 of Cups. So he's really looking up, kind of pondering this cup in the air. He's got 3 cups on the ground. You know, 3 of Cups is usually a card of celebration and fun, but he's kind of like not looking at those anymore. He's looking up here at this new cup, okay? So there's some new form of satisfaction that you're looking for. The heart of the matter in this reading, we have the Consciousness card. This is from the Osho Zen Tarot. There's consciousness coming up in the heart position of the reading. See what we've got here supporting the heart of the matter. We've got the 3 of Swords here. Okay, a card of old pains, very human card, old ways of thinking. So there's definitely a consciousness that you have. Like it's almost get the impression like you're looking for a new relationship, or maybe you're just looking for a new, like more satisfying career, something like that. And so you've got something you're like, okay, but there's something else that I'm looking for. You have a consciousness to you, but there's some old pain here that you're really ready to let go of. Maybe you've been holding on to it a little too long. Let's see what your foundation card of the reading is. Here's the Queen of Swords, Queen of Fire. She would be a Leo queen. I love her. So there's a lot of passion here at the bottom. Okay, this is your foundation card, foundation and passion. In drive. She's a world traveler. Let's see what's going on behind the scenes. Here's the King of Wands. So you got a couple here, the Queen and the King. He's in the background more. And okay, so let's see what else we've got going on. What else is in the background? A little bit in the past. We've got the Strength card. So got a lot of fire energy here between the Queen of Fire, the King of Fire, and the Strength card, which is such a Leo card. I love this card. You know, the Strength is about obviously being strong, but like being severe versus being too soft, finding that middle ground. Okay, so this is in the background, lots of fire. Interesting how she's holding the knife in her hand and it's coming in next to this. Almost like you're ready to cut that out. See what's going on in the future position. We have this playfulness card. It's nice to see. Feels a little circus-like. Red, fiery energy. And the 7 of Cups. Can you see that? 7 of Cups. There's such a glare on this. 7 of Cups, which is really, he almost looks like he's putting a mask on. So it kind of feels like almost like kind of like narcissistic energy where somebody puts the mask on. We can't really tell who they are. 7 of Cups is kind of cloudy. So what I'm getting from this is that if you are looking for new love, it's interesting that there's a consciousness to you, but there's some old pain still lingering around that you're ready to remove. But it's very easy to fall into repeating. It's almost like the clown's wearing a mask, and then this Seven of Cups has a mask on. So we have to be careful. We have to trust feeling when we're dealing with people, because a lot of people show up with their masks on. They don't show up showing who they truly are. Interesting that she has kind of paint on her face, kind of almost like a mask also. So you need to trust your feelings. You need to trust to know, and you also don't want to repeat the same thing. And sometimes when we are not conscious, we just go into repeating the same thing. We'll get like the same storyline, different person. And so that's what I'm getting here, is to be really careful and to really check in with your body about what's going on with the people that you meet. Because there's almost like an eagerness to remove the old pain, and there's an eagerness to move forward, but you want to move forward with your eyes open and be able to really be in tune with what's going on. I'm going to pull a few more cards here to see if there's anything else here that I missed. I've got the Ten of Wands, Page of Wands. This Ten of Wands is kind of interesting. Like, he's got this heavy thing on his back. He's like crawling. So he's got a lot, it's like a lot of burden, a lot of heaviness that's coming with him that he wants to get rid of. And the Page of Wands, which is like young energy, like almost wanting to go back in time. So maybe there's a little bit of regret. Maybe I kind of get the vibe, like basically what I'm getting, and I hope this aligns to you. I'm getting that like there was a divorce or there was some kind of breakup, and you want to move on from it, but you have to be very careful that you're not going to just repeat the same thing and take on another burden. Your desire to be free of it or to be light of it might not be, it could get you into trouble, okay, of repeating things. And the idea of like just jumping right into something, that's what I'm getting, okay? Now, if this isn't regarding love, let's see what else we've got. Okay. Well, there's definitely almost like this desire to be saved, okay? There's like this energy of like wanting the right thing to be brought to you at the right time. You've got big ideas and you want to go big places and you want to be in a relationship. This can be work too. This doesn't have to be just love, okay? But there's almost a little bit of delusion with it, or a little bit of missing some information. So please tune in to yourself a little bit more. It's easy in Leo season to just like want to fall in love and want everything to be beautiful and perfect, but you don't want to end up in the same place that you were in before. The Devil card is showing up, and he's asking you to really look at a little bit of the Fool's in the background, so a little bit of our foolishness, we all have it, and a little bit of our patterns and our dysfunction, and it's time to really take a peek at that. Okay, and to not just keep falling into those same behaviors. Here's the Five of Swords, and that's just showing up. This is a card of change, changing the way you're thinking. Okay, you're ready. He's showing up strong and ready. So it's time. This might be a really good time to go to therapy. This might be a really good time to look at these repeated patterns. Okay. You know, they say that narcissists prey on empaths because empaths can feel and they really want to help and want to make things better. And I kind of see that here. I see a lot of narcissistic energy, and a lot of times, sometimes empaths, we can fall into that behavior of fixing things. And what you're ready to do is to fix you. Okay, here's the Ten of Swords. You've had enough of this anguish. This time is ending. You are ready to move into better things. So what's the most important thing you need to do to move into these better things? What action do you need to take? I have the Emperor, and the Emperor has to make choices for the Empire. He has to take his time and think his thoughts through and make good decisions, okay? He's the boss. And I've got the Two of Coins. And so he's taking care of a lot. He's on a unicycle. He's trying to balance things out. And you want to really take a look at your finances and how much you are juggling here, and make sure that your relationships line up, that you're not doing all the work. Is there anything else? There's the Queen of Swords, and she is a queen of boundaries and no nonsense. She also rules big business, okay? And look at how lovely she is, but you're not going to mess with her. So it's time for you to make really good boundaries. That's enough of having your energy tapped out by others who are putting on false fronts. It's time to take a look at what you really want, and it's time to cut away the things that you don't. I get that there's compatible energy available for you, but you're caught up in the habit of the old dysfunctional stuff. Yeah, there's the Eight of Swords. Caught up. Didn't I just say caught up in the habit of old dysfunctional stuff? And she's literally caught in what's like a cobweb. Okay? So it's time. You're ready. You're ready. Anything else that you need to know? Three of Cups. Start envisioning it. Start planning it. Start feeling it. And she's the only one there, really. There's 3 cups. There's some musical instruments. There's no people there. She's got to clear out. She's got to clear out her friend groups. These 3 of Cups has been referenced a lot in these readings. Who are you surrounding yourself with? Are these people good for you? What is like fulfilling you changing? What's satisfying you is changing, okay? There's nothing wrong with clearing house. That's what I've got. I'm going to pull you an oracle card from this beautiful Mystical Sisters deck. Boy, did this deck want to be part of this reading. I used my pendulum to choose, and it took me a while, and this is the only one it wanted. So let's see what your card is. Air, I think it is, E-I-R. Now she's got her herbs grinding up in her mortar and pestle here. And let's see what the book has to say about her. It says keyword healing, recovery, and remedies. In Norse mythology, Air, whose name means help or mercy, is a goddess associated with medicine and healing. Air is the healer of the other gods and goddesses if they were sick or injured. Air would heal and protect them with magical potions and sophisticated herbal remedies. When this card is drawn, you or someone you love will be in need of healing and recovery time. Exercise compassion and tenderness. Create a peaceful space for recovery. Research your remedies and practice patience and faith in the healing process. So healing, recovery. Well, the Star card is all about healing, okay? It's a card of hope and healing. And as much as she is doing her healing, she looks quite lovely in the process, okay? So take the time to really nurture what you need. Step away from the relationships that aren't working for you. And if you're wondering what relationships that are, you can be assured that Venus retrograde will show that to you. Okay. You're ready. The old, there's no longer the need to cling anymore. Okay. Let's get clear on what you want. So I'm going to roll some dice here. Looking for dates for you for the month, power days, power signs. And we rolled the Sun in Sagittarius in the 7th house. So the Sun, it rules the sign Leo, right? I never thought that was fair that the Sun gets to rule the sign Leo. Pretty cool if you're a Leo to have your planet be the Sun. So showing up, being seen, the heart, loving from the heart. It's now, it's Leo season. In the sign of Sagittarius, Sagittarius is about freedom, about learning, about expanding. So some good days for you. The Leo full moon would definitely be a powerful full moon for you. This whole Leo season is going to be a powerful time for you to really see yourself, to understand yourself more. I'm looking at my moon calendar to see when the moon is in Sagittarius. So we know that it will be there on the evening or morning actually of the 24th. Let me just see if it's there before then. I guess not. So it's not till the end of the month. That's going to be the real power days for you. So we're looking at the morning of the 24th into the morning of the 26th. Okay, powerful Sagittarius times. You also rolled this, oh, I'm sorry, I said 7th house, but this is actually the 1st house. That's Aries house, the house of I am. So showing up in the world a little bit differently, redefining yourself, and with a sense of freedom and expansion and bigger picture of Sagittarius, okay? You may want to consider going back to school. Maybe there's a new thing that you want to learn so that you can show up in the world differently. Because if this reading was career focused, this is showing me that this is time to learn something new, whether it be a new language or maybe it is just a new, could even be a move, or it could just be the start of studying something new, okay? And Virgo season is a great season for that. Also, the 1st house is ruled by Aries. So any days that the moon is in Aries, which will be the late evening of the 4th, the 5th, and the 6th. And I think that's it. And then again, it'll be there in September, September 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, okay? Okay, so pile number 2, thank you so much for joining me. Pile number 3. So we have the Tower card here from the Everyday Witch. This is one of my favorite Tower cards because you could tell by the look on her face that she's the one that broke that structure down, right? She did it on purpose. She knows her power. So here we go with the Tower card. And so you get a Star card, and I took a bunch of Star cards, mixed them up, and pulled one for each pile. I haven't looked at it yet. And you got the Star card called the Grandfathers from the, I think this is called the Medicine Woman. Yes, Medicine Woman, a deck I really love. Can you see that? The Grandfathers, okay? So there's this energy of being pointed forward, being guided forward by these grandfather energy, these elder men energy, okay? Guiding you to the right place. So as you break down structures, as you break down old ways of being, you can call in your guides, specifically your grandfathers, and ask them to lead you forward, okay? And it can be that simple. It can just be asking. So let's see what you need to know this month of August, what's important for you to know. And we're starting off with the Ace of Wands. A beautiful card of something new, something dynamic, something fiery. This looks like a dragon here. And so there's new things coming in this fiery season of Leo. The heart of the matter, we have the card Letting Go from the Osho Zen Tarot. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Letting go. Okay. She was pretty willing here to break things down. It's in the heart of the matter, letting go. Okay, supporting the heart of the matter, here's the Mind card. There's a lot of crazy thoughts going on there, right? So this is so human. You know it. We all can get to this point, right? But there's letting go, and you're ready to let go of leaving the mind in charge of everything. You're asking for help from your guides, help and assistance to live on this wild planet that we live on. The foundation card of the reading is the Page of Cups. This young, playful, watery energy of the Page of Cups, very in tune with their own emotions, feelings, and it's kind of like she's talking to a fish in a cup, and that might be what you feel like trying to talk to your grandfathers, right? Especially the ones farther back in our lines, right? So if you're trying to tap into that, don't feel silly. Just play with it. It's coming up strongly for you. Ask for assistance. Now, behind the scenes, we have the Faith card. This is actually the Hierophant card traditionally. This is card number 5. There's a lot of praying going on, spiritual practices going on. in the background. And yeah, I'm getting like that's another way for you to connect with your grandfathers. Just have a conversation. Here's the Ace of Swords, but it's interesting. This Ace of Swords really looks, I mean, if you didn't read it, you'd think it was the Ace of Wands, right? This almost like coyote or wolf jumping over, fiery sword. So it kind of feels like transformation because a sword is formed by fire, right? And pressure or pounding, I guess. So you got two aces, both kind of looking like fiery. This is in the background. So there's this new way of thinking and this new connection, source energy. Now in the future position, we have this bonus card in this deck called the Artist. I think you've heard me say before, I thought this said the Arise for the longest time because it's kind of written in a funny font. But it's the Artist, and the clouds are clearing and you're able to see and to sketch. And here's Mercury, the what would be considered the planet of communication. He's jotting down what he sees, right? These glimpses. And here's the Three of Pentacles, almost like a classroom, learning. There's a teacher here. I'm getting a lot of like teacher vibes between the Hierophant and this card. Very Sagittarius. So there may be some new things. You're ready to learn something new. Could even be some artwork, art courses. Could see you taking some classes. Making some time, clearing some space. There's some things you've been doing that are just frazzling you. Some of it might just be being on your phone. You're ready to try some new things, even if you feel silly. Go for it. Okay. See if there's a class you need to sign up for. Let's see what we got. A few more cards here. Here's the Hermit. Okay. He's on his path of truth. He's Virgo. We're going to be in Virgo season by the end of August. Okay, the Virgo is ruled by Mercury. So this, and it's actually coming in right next to this picture of Mercury. So there's something there's something that has to be written. Okay, I'm almost getting foreign languages, but there's some kind of class that you're supposed to be taking. It's too many cards. Let's try that again. Here's the Nine of Coins. Nine of Pentacles. It's really beautiful. All is well and getting better. So it might just be something simple like maybe you want to learn more about gardening, or maybe you want to learn, it's like he's writing down about trees, right? Maybe there's some kind of horticulture or something that you want to take. This is the time. Don't make excuses about money, about taking it, because everything is lining up for you. There's some things you're going to clear out of the way so you can make space for a little bit more fun and things that you enjoy. The Knight of Wands just kind of leaped out of that deck here. And the Knight of Wands is kind of like the bad boy of the tarot deck. He does what he wants. He's got a lot of passion. And so do what you want. Go for it. Make some space. You're ready to let go. You're ready to bring in some new things. You're bold enough to cut away the things that don't work. You've had enough of the things that are overstimulating you. And, you know, if you watch the news long enough, you'll feel miserable. So I see you stepping away from that and breaking down some old ways of being and making space for what you want. You've got the Ace of Swords again. This is another version of it. This was the other version that came up. You're ready. The Ace of Swords. Swords is like communication. It's air energy. There's eagles flying around. There's a broader perspective. There's new information. And here's the Seven of Coins. And it's almost like she's not ready to harvest this yet. We're in a 7-year numerology. Our full Pisces moon is going to be at 7 degrees. She's not ready to harvest yet. So you have an opportunity to take this class and to learn what you need to learn before things get busier for you, is what I'm getting. okay? I'm just going to see if there's anything else. Anything else you need to know here? The Four of Wands. And so there's a new way, there's a new path, more trees. I'm really getting like arbor vibes for you. Maybe you want to take a botanical class, something like that. There's a new path here. It's waiting for you, okay? So go for it. All right, let's see what your oracle card is from the Mystic Sisters. And I was saying to pile 1 and 2 that I use my pendulum to choose decks. It took me a long time to see which oracle wanted to be used. None of them wanted to be used until I picked up this one. So let's see what you need to know. This one's fallen out. It says Soma Goddess. Look how lovely. Soma Goddess. Let's see what the book has to say about that. And then we'll roll a little dice. Soma Goddess, wholeness, integrity centered. The Soma Goddess is here to remind you that you are a perfect expression of the universal life force and always have been. Wholeness comes when you awaken to the reality that wherever you are on your path, there you are. You are precisely where you belong right now. Of course, all the changes you strive for are in process, and there will always be soul work to do. Our lives are dynamic, but at every point on your path of growth, you are whole just as you are. You are full when you fully realize that the feeling of wholeness is a birthright from cradle to the grave. True peace is yours. Wow. Wow, true peace is yours. This Soma Goddess kind of looks a little bit like this 9 of Pentacles. Everything's well, and there's time for you to live the life that you really want. It's time for you to learn something new. The path is waiting for you. It's open for you, and you can move forward, okay? I'm going to roll some dice. I'm looking for dates, power days for you. Let's see what we've got. So we rolled the North Node. So the North Node is your Dharma point, what you came here to do. And as I was telling pile number 2 that also rolled the North Node, the nodes are changing signs this month. And so they're moving into Libra and Aries, okay? I think they change signs like every 18 months. So it's kind of a big deal. And so you really want to be knowing where your North Node is, okay? If you want to comment below with your birth date, time, and place, I can let you know where your North Node is, okay? Your North Node in astrology, we think of it as your contract, your Dharma point, what you came here to do, what you came here to fulfill. It's not always the easiest task, but it's what your soul came here for, okay? It's a big premise. I like to explore it. So you rolled the North Node about getting clear about what you came here to do. You rolled it in the sign of Pisces in the 6th house of Virgo. So Pisces is that dreamy, spiritual, karmic, clearing. It's the last sign of the zodiac, finality of it. And 6th house is opposite Pisces, it's Virgo. And we know that we're gonna have that Pisces full moon this month, blue moon at the end of the month. So that's gonna be a really powerful time for you to really execute your dreams into reality, your dreams into everyday routine and habits so that you can achieve what you came here to do. So you've got some power days there on the blue moon in Pisces at 7 degrees of Pisces on the 30th of the month of August, okay? Now you also rolled Virgo. So let's see when the moon will be in Virgo. So actually the moon will be in Pisces on the 2nd of August, the 3rd, and the 4th of August. Okay, so those are going to be some power days for you too. Then we have Virgo days, which are going to be starting on the evening of the 16th, right after the new moon in Leo. It'll be there the 17th, 18th, and the morning of the 19th, okay? So those are going to be more important days for you. I want you to be thinking about schedule, routines, what it is that you really what have you been dreaming about? What do you want to be doing? Okay, this is the time to start planning your action. All right. And so thank you, pile number 3, for joining me. Have a fabulous month.